Okay, the first thing we're going to have to do for number 22 is rearrange these equations. So our first equation, we're going to have to move the x to the other side. So we're going to do that by subtracting an x. That first equation is going to be y is less than negative x minus 1 because I can't put the negative 1 and the x together. So our b value is negative 1, our m is negative 1. So we're going to start at negative 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. When I connect these, this is going to be dotted and it's going to be shaded below. So I'm going to continue my pattern and just go dotted, and it says shade below, so I go to my y-intercept and I shade underneath. For the top one, we have to subtract the x. When we subtract the x, we get negative y is greater than negative x plus 8. The y is not by itself because that negative is attached to it. To get rid of it, we have to divide everything by negative 1. Because I'm dividing by a negative, I have to flip my sign around. Negative over negative makes a positive, so it's positive 1x, and positive over negative makes a negative. So the b is negative 8, and the m is 1. This symbol is less than. It's going to be dotted and below. So I begin at negative 8, and my slope is 1, so I'm going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. And it's dotted, so I'm just going to continue my pattern with a dashed line like that. And it says below, so I go to my y-intercept and I shade below. When I have two graphs on the same, two lines on the same graph, I'm doing a system. This system is where those two shaded areas overlap. That's the solution. So it's this part where both the pink and the blue are. So my final solution is here. These parts just helped me get my answer. They're not actually your final answer. Okay, so on the EOC, if you had to pick the area that has the final solution, it's going to be this one because both colors were there. Okay, for number 23, the top equation, or the top inequality, is not in slope-intercept form, so we have to change it. I have to add x to both sides, and that becomes 3y is less than or equal to x plus 21. I have to get the y by itself, so I'm going to divide everything by 3. So y is less than or equal to, remember there's like a 1 in with that x, 1/3 x plus 7. So the b is 7, the slope is 1/3. So I begin at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I move up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. It is solid and it is below. So I'm going to connect these with a solid line and I'm shading below. For this one, it's already in slope-intercept form. My b is 4, my m is negative 1. So I go to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. This tells me it's solid and above. So I'm going to continue my pattern. Go this way and this way. Go to my y-intercept and shade above. My final solution is where both colors are. So this area in here has both colors. That's my final solution. The next one, 4x plus y is greater than or equal to 4. I have to move the x over to the other side, and I've got y is greater than or equal to negative 4x plus 4. So my b is 4 and my m is negative 4. So begin at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4 over 1, negative 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. This symbol means greater than or equal to. So this part means solid, this part means above. So I'm going to draw in my solid line, go to my y-intercept, and shade above it. Okay. Next one, I want to move the x's over. Then I'm going to have negative 2y is less than negative 3x plus 14. I have to get the y by itself, so I divide everything by negative 2. Y is less than 3 halves x minus 7. Because negative over negative gives me a positive. Positive over negative gives me a negative. This symbol means less than, so it's going to be dotted and below. My b is negative 7. My m is 2/3. Or, not 2/3, 3 halves. Sorry, I said the wrong thing. 3 halves. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 over 2. 1, 2, 3 over 2. So I'm going to do dotted and below. So go to the y-intercept and go below. My final solution is where both colors are. 25. We have to move the 4x over. So we've got negative 5y is greater than negative 4x minus 35. Divide by negative 5. Because I divided by a negative, the sign flips to less than. Negative over negative makes a positive, and negative over negative makes a positive. So the b is 7, the m is 4 over 5. So begin at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. M, if I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm off my graph, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, you could go the opposite direction too. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be dotted because there's no bar. And I go to my y-intercept and I shade below because I had to change it to less than. The next one, I don't have to change anything. I go to x is negative 3. This is 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Put my dot. And my line's going to be solid through that dot because it says or equal to. And this says less than. So I want to shade the numbers that are smaller than negative 3. That's these numbers. So my final solution is where both colors are in this region here.